Hopefully I can get this. I can't hear you guys.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jerry.
Can you hear me? I don't think they can hear me either.
I hear you.
Oh, you hear me?
Yep.
I heard you for a second there. I heard Jerry. Jerry, I can't hear. I can't hear what John Phillips is saying.
John, I can't hear you. John Phillips can't. I can't hear you. Fedco, I can hear. How can he not hear Fedco?
Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, John's having technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on here. He's got the green light in his headset, but we can't hear him. So, all right. Well, I guess I'll take over for John while he's fooling around with this. So, yeah, kind of turning into a bloodbath there, gentlemen. What's your thoughts?
I'll let Fedco go first.
Yeah, mine. That,
John, maybe you should sit on a phone book so we can see you.
yeah. Okay, so let's move over here. Oh man.
Here, you know what? Let's get that.
I love.
Here we go. There you go.
There you go. Perfect.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, I mean, everyone's going to talk about the secondary and the defense is terrible, but I'm just so tired of watching the Steelers. I'm an old guy. I've been watching Tomlin's teams, and I'm so tired of watching a team that's just not well coached. And I'm going to go through two things that just stood out at me in this game. This is a game. The Steelers are in the game, regardless of their defense being terrible and the tight end of Green Bay going off. Kraft had a phenomenal game, and Love had the 20 straight completions, and he had a really good game. But the Steelers are in the game at the top of the fourth quarter. They have the ball. Michael Parsons going nuts. He gets a sack. Then he chases He chases our quarterback, and then the Steelers just give up. They throw a third down pass underneath instead of going for a pass down. You're in a game with a great team, and it's going to be a shootout, and you are going to have to score. And what do they do on that drive? They decide, well, you know what? We're going to throw something underneath, and we're going to punt. And that was the end of the game. I'm not a genius. I'm some old guy sitting on my couch, okay? And I said as soon as he threw that pass underneath the sticks, that's the end of the game. He just gave up. And what did Green Bay do? They got the ball back and went down and scored. And that was the end of the game. The other thing I want to talk about is I can't stand this league. I can't stand the NFL. And here's one of the reasons why. The Steelers made two plays that take no athletic ability. They made two huge mistakes. This takes no athletic ability to not commit personal fouls. Okay? And that personal foul on the punt cost 15 yards, which ended up leading to the touchdown to put the game away. But the bigger one is, what is DK Metcalf? What is this?
Yeah.
Is the Three Stooges? How many times have we seen this on a Mike Tomlin team? Out of control players. You're in the game. You got a shot, but your unforced errors is, I'm just going to put my fingers in your helmet. You got to call that. You can't be having guys putting fingers in their helmet. Those two personal fouls were enormous. They were enormous. The one on the punt led to the touchdown to put the game away. And then you still have Aaron Rodgers, who's still playing great. And here comes another personal foul that really puts the game away. So that's what I saw. I mean,
John,
the defense stinks, and Indianapolis is going to tear them apart. But that's
John, I agree with every one of your points you just made. The personal fouls, defense, all that stuff. But Rodgers did not play great. I made a list of things. I agree. Decided this game tonight.
I agree,
and I'll go over them right now. The Green Bay's offensive line protected Love much better than the Steelers' offensive line protected Rodgers.
Zero sacks on Love. I mean, I didn't see the end of the game because we're on this thing. But
the other big thing, Micah Parsons is hold on, Steeler fans, you're not going to like this. Micah Parsons is a better player than T.J. Watt.
Agreed.
You know,
yes.
A much better player. He affected the game way more than Watt did.
I agree.
Where was Warren in the second half? 50 yards in the first half on the ground. He had two carries in the third quarter, and there was no running game. He ran well in the first half, and they went away from him for some reason. That goes back to your point that they were out-coached. I think they were out-coached. And the big thing is secondary is bad. It's just bad. All the money they put into it and all the effort and the acquire players, Slay and Ramsey, they're drafting Porter high, all those things they try to do to make a good secondary. I give them credit for trying. It didn't work. Jordan Love, 20 consecutive complete passes, 360 yards. The Packers, I think Ford is a better coach than Tomlin, but the Packers are a better team than the Steelers.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And anybody could have coached those games. Any two other guys could have coached those two teams tonight. It could have been anybody against anybody instead of Ford against Tomlin, and the Packers would have won.
Well, I want to. First of all, I love your Parsons thing. They were both going up against each other, whether you want to say it or not. They both playing the same side of the ball. But Micah Parsons constantly double-teamed, constantly triple-teamed, and he still was a major factor because that game, Jerry, I do think it was a game, and it was a game at the beginning of the first quarter. Let's go back to when I started the show on. It was a really tough, tight game at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and here comes Micah Parsons. First of all, through a triple team, he was triple teamed, and he caused a sack. Then he chases down. He chases down the quarterback and causes him to throw it early. So that was almost kind of like a sack. And I agree, Aaron Rodgers wasn't great, but Micah Parsons was the star of this game, I believe. You could say Kraft was and Love was, but that was the key point in the game was the beginning of the fourth quarter when Micah Parsons had two huge plays, the sack, then the chase. And then, like I said before, that is a coaching decision. Now, maybe I'd like to be in that locker room. The question I want to ask to Aaron Rodgers is, what was the call on third down there? Remember, it was third and long, right?
Right.
Now, it's third and long, and as the guy sitting there, I'm saying, okay, Rodgers, you're paid to make the big play here. You got to make a big play. You got to try to throw something past the sticks, because if you don't get a first down here, this game's over. And they just threw a pass underneath. Now, what was the play call, and what did Rodgers see is a critical question on that play.
I think that Rodgers saw something down the field that he couldn't complete, didn't want to throw an interception, and
I'm
that's
not
why
so
he threw
sure
it
of that. Jerry, I'm not so sure of that.
We can't see that on the TV, though, John. We can't see if anybody was open downfield.
This is why I think this is a big deal, Jerry. I think that they thought the strategy was, and I've seen this over and over in a Tomlin coach team, too conservative, too gutless. I think they thought the strategy was, we're not taking a shot here. Let's just punt this thing away, because that was given up. When you throw that ball in front of the sticks, you're just saying we're punting. And that was the game. You've given the ball back. You've given your ball back to Jordan Love, who, by the way, tonight proved he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Jordan Love was phenomenal, okay? And Kraft had a great game, don't get me wrong. Like, last time I checked, I didn't see the end. He had 7 catches, 143, 2 touchdowns. I mean, but it was Love. I mean, Jordan Love was such, and that's why, Jerry, when you got a Jordan Love, when you got like, you know, when you got like Kansas City and Buffalo, and you got 2 great quarterbacks, it's a shootout, man. You don't throw that third down pass. You have got to throw something past the sticks and get a first down there, or the game's over.
Well, that play didn't decide the game, John. I mean, it was a bad call. It was definitely a bad call. It was ridiculous. They should have thrown it downfield. If he had thrown it downfield, it probably would have been an incompletion or an interception.
Maybe, but we're not going to know.
Yeah. But that's not that. But that's the greater point is that the Packers are a better team than the Steelers.
No,
and Glove is a better quarterback than Rodgers, and the offensive line of Green Bay is way better than the Steelers' offense.
Oh yeah. And Jerry, listen, I think it's interesting today that the AFC was 6-0 versus the NFC going into this, and this was the game that the AFC blew. You know what I mean? Which brings the Steelers back to, or this was a really bad day for the Steelers. This, that Deshaun Elliott injury is a huge one too. Okay, that's a big one. But this was
interfered with on that play, John.
You could have called that. I'm glad they didn't. But you could have called it. He did push off.
Right.
But I mean, you see that. I think it was a great play where the athletes let him go. I wouldn't have called it if I was a ref. Okay. And the refs were bad. I mean, they missed.
I would have called it.
The offside call was ridiculous. The missed offside
that was
call.
Bad too, yeah.
Rodgers had every single. He should have gone nuts on that, because he clearly saw that was offside, and Rodgers thought that it was a free play, and that was a big play. Because it wouldn't have been a first down, but it would have like 3rd and 2 if they'd have made the correct call on that. But whatever. And not blaming the refs on this. You made the really great points, Jerry, on the difference here. Green Bay's a better team. Micah Parsons is better than T.J. Watt, and those are the 2 stars of this game besides the quarterbacks. Okay, and Micah Parsons was sensational when he had to be, and I didn't see the end of the games. I was doing the show, but the Steelers had no sacks. Now, give credit to Love.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He gets rid of the ball fast. He moves. He scrambles. He's really good under pressure. They were putting pressure on Jordan Love, but he's such a great quarterback that he got away from the pressure and completed. He has
better receivers too. He has way better receivers. Yep.
He does. It was a bad game for Metcalf, and really bad because of that personal foul. That was a terrible personal foul that, you're still semi in the game. You got Aaron Rodgers. You're at home. But that personal foul knocked him out, okay? And and this is constantly happening in this team under this coaching staff. And I'm not just blaming Tomlin. I'm blaming all the coach. That's a coaching staff problem. When you got a personal foul on a special teams play, then a personal foul on your offense, you got a problem there, okay?
That's an undisciplined team, John.
Right, yep. And I'm not just blaming Tom for that. I'm blaming all the coaches. I'm blaming the offensive coordinator, the special team coach. That stuff can't happen in a game like this. You've got to be disciplined.
Tomlin's responsibility. His coaches, his assistant coaches are his responsibility.
I agree. That is a problem, man, and it's been going on for a long, long time here. Is this? It's about me, not about the team, and so they're coming back to earth, and now you've got Buffalo looked a lot better, although their defense is still suspect. But Jerry, next week, Phillips needs to do next week. I'm interested in doing a 2-hour post-game show because we may be talking about the end of this team's season. Because you want to talk about a scary situation. Now, I don't care where the game's being played. If it's being played in my backyard, I don't know how they're stopping Indy. Because Indy right now looks like they may be the best team in the league.
Next 3 games, Colts, Chargers, and Bengals. That's next 3 games.
Yeah,
Chargers on the road.
The Bengals are a joke. Leave it to the Bengals.
They can score, John. They can score.
They can score. You're right, Jerry. You're right. But leave it to them to just have an unbelievable loss when they could have, really made it a division race. And I still think that the Ravens the hole they've dug is so huge. It's going to be so hard to get out of that.
They won, and Jackson's coming back. Jackson might play Thursday night.
Again, their defense is suspect to me, although they played well today. That was a big win for them. But the bigger point in the AFC is the reason it's a really bad day for the Steelers is not because that stupid division, which again Tomlin should be fired the second the season ends if he doesn't win the division.
They'll fire everybody. Yeah, they just fire everybody.
No, Jerry, he needs to be fired. This stuff again. I'm not just throwing that stuff out.
We can talk about that another time.
Can anybody hear me at all?
I hear you, John Phillips.
Oh,
I hear you.
My God, amazing. I want to thank Bill Akins for being the troubleshooter that he is. John Fedko, do you have an off button? Don't find it if you do, okay? I mean, unbelievable. This has been a horrible night. The Packers scored 28 points in the second half to the Steelers 9. I mean, how many more field goals could the Steelers kick tonight?
Yeah, if they don't have Boswell, who's flat out a Hall of Famer. I mean, what Boswell did tonight. He had another 50-yarder. And you saw that
he had 3.
He's crazy.
He had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the guy you take Boswell out of this game, and they're blown out out of the stadium. But
they did get blown out of the stadium, John. They did get blown out of the stadium.
They did.
In the second half.
Jerry, but it was I go back to how I started this show. The Steelers were right in it at the start of the fourth quarter. They were right in it, man. It wasn't going to blow out.
But they weren't protecting the quarterback. That's what happened. They weren't protecting the quarterback.
Yeah, but Rodgers is look. We know that Parsons was great and Green Bay's defense was great, and you're dealing with a great quarterback on the other side of the ball. You got to make a big play in that 3rd and long. And I don't know what I want to know what the call was. The strategy
completed that, John? I'm telling you, if they had completed that pass, and if we got a first down, they still lose the game.
I don't know about that.
I don't
know about that, Jerry.
They might have got a first down there, but then in the next series they get
Jerry,
sacked.
they score. They take the lead.
They just didn't play well.
I'm disagreeing.
That was a bad call, but they didn't play well.
Jerry,
they didn't deserve to win.
Remember, again, I want to go back to the top of the show. What I think are the 2 biggest things in this game, and it all started with that 3rd down call at the start of the 4th quarter when they basically gave up on that drive, punted, and then here comes Green Bay and puts the game away. Remember, the punt was the personal foul, okay? So you take that punt, that 15 yards off, and maybe the Steelers defense does make a stand there. But that 15 yards really cost them on that punt. And then, of course, subsequently, we get the DK Metcalf ridiculous call. Okay,
the quarterback completed 20 passes in a row, John. I mean, no matter where they would have started that drive after the punt,
Jerry, I'm with you, but this is why Johnny pays me the big bucks. Because I'm telling you, Jerry, you got Aaron Rodgers playing great. I know you got Jordan Love completing 20 straight passes, and he had an unbelievable game, and I think Jordan Love would have had an unbelievable game against really good defenses. That guy's a really good quarterback, okay?
Absolutely.
But the Steelers have a really good quarterback. They have Aaron Rodgers, and he's playing well, and Aaron Rodgers makes big plays. He's big under pressure. I want to know, Jerry, what was the call on 3rd down? I want to hear it from Aaron Rodgers. Were you just basically saying we don't want to make a mistake deep into our territory and we're going to punt it away?
Well,
did you have a play called where you were going to get a throw past the sticks? And he didn't throw it past the sticks, which he should have, because the game's on the line there. And if you throw an interception or an incompletion, you got to know in that situation. If you're watching that game and you're into it, you're saying this is a critical game, man. Jordan Love's unstoppable. We got to do I'm not saying we, because I'm not a Steeler fan, but if it's the Steelers, we got to get a score here. We got to at least give our Hall of Fame field goal kicker a shot. And you do that, you just throw it underneath pass and give up
to a tight end, who doesn't get many yards after catch. Yeah.
So that's either on Rodgers, coaching staff, or both. And if it's on Rodgers, then buddy, what's your problem, man? Show some guts and throw the ball past the sticks. But it may not be on him. That's what I want to know. That's all.
We'll never know for sure, John.
To me, that was one of the plays of the season. You can't give the ball back to Jordan Love and that offense. Yeah. In that situation, you just don't give up. You don't give up there. You make a good play.
Let the boss talk, John. Let the boss talk.
Well, hey, that's Bill. We've got Jerry DiPaolo. We've got John Fedko. It's Steel City Sunday postgame show, Nightmare Edition. Packers 35, Steelers 25. John, a Jefferson Lake and Palmer album next time, please. Come on now. I mean, what are we talking about?
Jefferson Lake and Palmer? You mean Emerson Lake?
Or Emerson Lake and Palmer.
or Jefferson Airplane. Or the Monkees. How about the Monkees?
How about Eric Clapton?
Eric Clapton's pretty good.
John Fedko, I just hope you have some Frankie Valli behind you there. How
about the Lopes? Way to rep the Lopes, man.
Where were you at Friday? Were you up at Avonworth? Were you up there?
Oh, was it my grandson's playing on the team?
Really? Is he?
What did you do, Gary? What about what?
They're freshmen. They're freshmen. They don't play varsity, but they dress. They dress.
But they're in the program.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Jack and Aiden DePauli, absolutely. Yeah.
John, what are their names? What are their names, Jerry?
Jack and Aiden.
What positions are they going to play?
They play corner. They play corner. Aiden plays corner, and Jackson is a backup quarterback.
Well, what a program that is, man!
Great program. I don't know, undefeated. They got an NBC tonight.
John, was that you up in Plum Friday night tweeting away about the kick or that play at the end of the game?
I wasn't in Plum, but it was an unbelievable play.
Oh my!
I wasn't there, but that's one of the plays of the decade.
Yeah,
I mean, to get in the playoffs on a blocked kick that the kicker picks up and rolls into the end zone with 10 guys on him. That's pretty impressive. At the buzzer, that was McAfee needs to be making a big deal about that. That was a big deal.
Can we talk a little bit about Jordan Love, 360 yards passing, 3 touchdowns?
You can talk a lot about him. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He torched the Steelers. Well, it was his best performance this season, without a doubt. I mean, he absolutely torched the Steelers. I mean, are you shocked that Green Bay didn't come out and run the ball, Jerry DiPaolo? First drive, 3 straight passes. They went 3 and out. They only actually ran the ball. I'm looking at the stats now. I mean, they ran the ball a lot in the second half when they got the lead. 26 carries for 94 yards, but they didn't really run the ball at all, really, in the first half.
Well, I think that the scouting report is out on the Steelers. So Flacco exposed them last couple Thursdays ago, and then Green Bay just picked up on it, and you're going to see Jones. What is it? Daniel Jones, right? Pick up on it when they play the Colts next week.
You don't have to run the ball against the Steelers. You do what Jordan Love does. Just pick them apart.
You throw to the tight end. You get the wide receivers, and the Colts have good wide receivers, and they got the Chargers the week after that with Herbert, and then Flacco, comes to town. Next 3 weeks are going to be tough on the Steelers for sure, because that secondary is what it is. I mean, those guys, like I said in the pregame show, they're not getting any younger. Slay and Ramsey and Porter is just a very average, mediocre, way overrated college cornerback coming out of the draft.
And they lost to Sean Elliott. Who knows how long Elliott's out?
And Elliott's out now.
He's out.
Bad. Looks bad. That's a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame. He's had some good games this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're. But listen, I there's no doubt the number. And Jerry, by the way, if anybody's watched all of our shows, you and I talked about this 3 weeks ago. That's their weakness. Their secondary. I mean, you could see this coming even before the Cincinnati.
It was supposed to be their strength,
and it's their weakness. And it was their weakness.
For Ramsey.
It was their weakness against Cincinnati. It's their weakness. Okay, but you can't. The rest of the defense can't just. I mean, again, like T.J. Watt. Where are you, man? Micah Parsons was a star in this game. You were okay, but okay ain't gonna shoot it. When
part of the reason this secondary didn't play well is
true.
0 sacks.
0 sacks.
If you don't put pressure on the quarterback, it puts pressure on the secondary.
But I think it's on I think it's on the defense coordinator.
Football's the ultimate team game, John. Yeah. Everybody's to blame.
This defense is the definition of overrated. They're flat out overrated.
Well, you know what? The other people
story.
overrating them were themselves. When
I think you're
Tomlin
right.
said in the preseason, this is going to be a great defense, and a couple other guys came out and talked about it's going to be a great season for the defense. They were talking out of school, and it's it's not the way you do it. I don't think Chuck those teams ever. They had great defenses back in the 60s or back in the 70s, but you know what? They never talked about being great. They just go out and play great.
Well, you know what? When I was watching the game, I know Micah Parsons was quoted this week, and there was a good article. It was in the Post-Gazette, and Parsons was quoted like, "Hey, I never thought T.J. Watt was in the top 3." And you know what? He's right. Micah Parsons was unreal. I mean, the double teams, the triple teams, and to get through them, and to be such a force. And in a game like this, got to stick up.
They move him around in their defense,
they
too.
do.
You have Watt in the same spot every single time on the left side of that defense. You see Parsons at different places.
They do. And listen, T.J. Watt's one of the best, but Micah Parsons is better.
Oh, no question.
You let the show with that. You saw it tonight.
Parsons is better than Watt. Love is better than Rodgers. Yep. Green Bay's offensive line is better than the Steelers' offensive line. Those are your 3 big points right there.
And Green Bay is a real Super Bowl contender. Now, maybe their run game needs to be shored up when they play, the big guys.
Well, Jacobs is a good back. They'll be fine.
He's a good
back.
They're
a real Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, they didn't really use him in the first half, and it wasn't until the second half when they brought the running game in to control things after they got the lead.
They didn't need to use them. They scored 35 points.
They picked up a couple of big runs near the end of that game when they had it. They picked up a couple of 10-yarders. By that time, the Steelers' defense was reeling. But I was just super impressed with Jordan Love. I mean, we can sit here and rip the Steelers secondary, but he's a great quarterback. He had a great game.
Yeah, he had a massive second half for sure. About 10 minutes before we get off the air here, let's talk about this team right now. 4-3 in a horrible division.
Horrible.
They're still in first place.
Yep.
How bad is – first of all, the line next week against Indianapolis, if it's not a pick 'em, the Colts have to be at least
but the game's
-2.
Here.
I understand that, and that's all well and good. It's going to be a pick 'em minimum. I mean, they're running the ball extremely well. Danny Dimes has played extremely good. This team's a mess. How can the Colts not be favored by game time next Sunday?
I think the Colts will be favored in the game. I think they
will
will
be favored, and the Colts will win. And now that'll make the Steelers 4-4, right? If they lose next week.
That's right. Yeah.
And guess what? The Ravens are playing the Dolphins a Thursday night. That would make the Ravens 3-5. So all of a sudden, that big lead over the Ravens is down to 1 game.
Yeah, I'm not backing off that Thomas should be absolutely fired if you cannot win the division this year when this division is just horrific still. And I know the Baltimore won today. Okay. But the division is just pathetic. And, of course, the Bengals pathetically lose to the Jets at home.
For the Ravens, John. I know you don't like their defense. Hey, John Phillips, you can fire everyone. Just don't fire me. Or Fedco, okay?
Well, here's the deal. He could fire me. I don't care. Listen, Jerry, what plays in your favor, and, again, you got to win the division. Again, Donnie football right now with the Pearson kid over there, with his offensive coordinator, could coach the Steelers to the division title. The division is horrific, Jerry. It's just a joke. As witnessed today by the Bengals losing to the Jets. I mean, this division's a joke.
I agree the Bengals aren't very good.
If
the Browns aren't very good.
If you can't win the division this year, you're never going to win it.
Ravens get Lamar Jackson back. The Ravens get Lamar Jackson.
I know they are. And the Ravens play the Steelers twice.
Right.
They play them
like
twice.
Said, this time, next Sunday night, we'll be talking about a 1-game lead.
That's why we should have a 2-hour post game next week, because it could be really ugly, or we could be saying, hey, look, they've. I don't know. This game's at Heinz Field. Rodgers is still really, really good, even though Metcalf had that idiotic personal foul penalty. He's really good. I think the Steelers' running game has the potential to be really good. It's not over yet. That is a gigantic game. Obviously, it's the game of the year next Sunday.
And
it is the game of the year.
8-9 might win the division.
Of course.
Could be.
No, that's true. No, that's true.
8-9 might win the division.
That's not a joke.
No, it's not.
I'll make a prediction. I make a prediction. When the Steelers play the Ravens the next time, John Fedka will say, "This is the game of the year."
No, well,
that'll be the game that
no,
decides the
Jerry,
division.
I may be off the show, but then because I cannot. The NFL product is so bad. I don't want to get into that. The World Series is so much better. But other than the Jonas Brothers singing, but no, the game of the year for the Steelers is this week.
They can lose that game. They'll still have that little one-game lead, even if they lose.
I'm not sure they're going to lose. I'm not sure they're going to lose. I'm not sure the Steelers are going to lose to Indianapolis. I'm telling you, Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now I know that Indy's got a great quarterback, but he's got
Daniel Jones is an MVP candidate.
I'm just going on here right now and saying the Steelers are going to lose to Indianapolis. Okay, first of all, the favorites the last 3 weeks have just been destroying the dogs, and let's just be honest. What's going to change in 7 days about this defense?
Nothing.
No, I mean it could be ugly.
Zero. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be Jonathan Taylor might have 150 yards by halftime if the Colts decide to run the ball 15 times in the first half.
Well, that's why it's the game of the year. And listen, this was an NFC loss tonight, so it's not a killer and a tiebreaker. The Steelers are in a horrific division. There's still a lot of football team to be played. I mean, I'm not burying the Steelers, nor will I come back later, Jerry, and say Baltimore's the game of the year. The game of the year for the Steelers is this Sunday. It's a winnable game, I believe.
If they lose that game, John, they're not going to win the division.
Well, if they lose the game, there's going to be complete bedlam. That's why it's the game of the year.
What if they win that game?
We're talking about them as a Super Bowl contender again, only because their division's so bad.
That's not a Super Bowl contender out there with
well,
that secondary.
If they beat Indianapolis, they are. But again, that's what I'm saying.
By the standings, they're going to win the division, maybe. But that's not going to get them into the Super Bowl.
Well, that's why I want to before burying them, I want to see them play Indy at home. They get it. If this game was at Indy, I'd say mortal lock, not Pierce body lock, but mortal lock. They lose the game, but it's not. It's an Heinz Field. It's a tough place for kickers to kick, and Boswell's unreal, and that could be the difference in a game like that. Mm-hmm. So if Boswell's lining up for a 60-yarder to win that game next week, I'm putting money on him. He's going to hit it, and that is a huge weapon. But hey, you got to stop it, and you can't give up like they did in the fourth quarter. They were in that game, Jerry. I truly believe this is where you and I disagree, and this is why John's got us on because you're a legend. I'm an idiot, but listen, I believe if Aaron Rodgers would have got out of that situation, again, it's 3rd and long. If he does something miraculous like he's done, he's got the arm to do it, gets a first down there, I think there's a legit chance the Steelers win this game.
Rodgers doesn't have the offensive line or the wide receivers to do it. That's the problem.
Well, you know what? I don't know because I didn't find out because he gave up because he threw underneath and they punted.
Yeah,
so was that on Rodgers? I want to know what the deal was there. That's all I'm asking.
Nobody's going to ask that question. By the way, David Clayton.
They're not going to. They probably are, Jerry. Yeah, no, you're probably right, Bill. And that's another problem in this town. They're all in there waiting. They're not going to ask that question.
Well, they won't get access if they do. If they ask that question several times, they won't get access. David says on YouTube, relax. AI Atlas is on its way to end it all. John, real quick.
October 29th.
Yeah, hey, you're right. John, quick thoughts before we wrap up on Sunday's game against the Colts, and then I'll go to Jerry DePaula after you're done, sir.
The fact the game's here at Heinz Field gives hope to the Steelers. Would I bet the Steelers? Absolutely not. Can the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers win a shootout in that game? And all of a sudden, but now we're talking, that they can make noise because they could get home field in the playoffs because the division's so bad. This game means everything this week. We have so much to talk about, but we got to give it another week. This is not a mortal blow tonight because it was an NFC game. It is a mortal blow. If they lose next week, Jerry, I'm jumping on with you and saying even Baltimore with all the problems they got, now Baltimore's going to win the division. But I'm telling you, I think the Steelers have a shot in this game. I agree with
that. I think the Ravens going to win the division.
Field. It's a trap. Indies playing great, and they're a good team. Well, we'll see how really good they are. They need to come in here and win that game if they're great. So I don't like the NFL. I don't think it's a good product. I'd much rather watch the World Series. But I want to watch that game next Sunday. I would watch that game even if I wasn't doing this show. And I don't spend a lot of my time wasting my time watching the NFL, but I watch it for this show. And I'll watch. That game is a huge game in the NFL next Sunday. I want to see if Indy's for real. And that will bury the Steelers. If they lose that game, you're right. I think they'll be a big game against Baltimore. Yeah. And the Ravens or even the stupid Bungles could find a way to win.
With half a season to go. Yeah.
The game's at Heinz, and that does mean something in the regular season. Right. Whatever they're calling that place over there. It's with Chris Boswell and those fans. That's not a gimme for Indy. It's just not in the regular season. The Steelers in the playoffs, the Steelers are losing everywhere.
Indy's going to hit a wall
in the regular season. Go back and look at the history. Even with Tomlin, regular season this time of year at home, he wins these games. He does.
Mr. DePaula, the Colts will hit the wall at the Indy 500 when they're celebrating the Super Bowl.
Well, I hate to be the voice of reason on here, but I'm telling you, I think the Steelers can win this game against Indy. I think they can. Maybe they get blown out. I don't know.
They better protect the 41-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, though. I'm with you.
Right. I'll call my ex-wife and get as many sedatives as I can. She's in hospice. It'll be bad next week. I think Jonathan Taylor may run for 250 yards.
Yeah.
The Steelers did well against the run. I disagree with you. I think the Steelers can stop him.
That's because the Packers didn't run the ball in the first half.
Well,
they didn't run the ball until the last 10 minutes.
Steelers did a pretty good job shutting the run down at the first half. Okay, and then everything spiraled out of control.
It was a weird first half.
I don't think Jonathan Taylor's could run all over them. He could, or I'm not saying that's going to happen. It's automatic. Again, it's in Heinz Field, and you got Chris Boswell, and it could be a crazy shootout. And if he lines up for a 60-yarder, he's going to make it to win it. So it's not crazy, but we could be talking crazy after the game next week, and they get blown out at that game, or they lose it even. Jerry,
what's not crazy is we're not getting rid of you, and we're paying you, both of you, and you'll be back next Sunday, I promise. Ethan on YouTube says, is Tomlin or Austin more at fault?
Tomlin, way more than Austin. Way more than Austin.
All right, Tom is at fault. The crazy. I think even those media people that are afraid to ask anything are going to ask him about the personal. Maybe they won't. The personal foul stuff is just so easy to resolve. Just stop. Don't stick your finger in a guy's helmet, DK, when the game's on. It's just stop it. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, the two personal fouls were huge.
Yep. You're right.
John Fenko.
Always right, John.
No, Jerry, you're always right. You're the voice of reason. I'm nuts.
And always ask Tina if I've sent you a payment. And you and Jerry DePaula, I'm sending your wife's money. I don't even know if you're getting it. You're like, what are we even talking about?
We're getting it. Absolutely.
All right. I gotta get back on a network show to do skylights to cover Jerry's kids.
There you go.
I do, Jerry. That's so much fun. Yeah, there's two of them.
They're twins, Jack and Aiden DePaula. Absolutely.
Oh, this is sensational.
They're twins. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I gotta get some nicknames for him already.
I'm gonna call Andrew Stocky into a dark alley, and it'll be all taken care
of. Yeah, he's good at good stuff, but not high school football. I need to go. You got to set in the big guy when DePaula's kids get involved. You send me in. Because that's going to be awesome. Because what a program that is.
I don't have a number for Mark Cabali.
Great program.
All right. John Fenko, you're the best. Jerry DePaula, you're also the best. Gentlemen, thank you. I can't thank you enough.
No, thank you, John.
Go Lopes.
John. I enjoyed this.
All right. Excellent. We'll talk to these gentlemen next Sunday. I'll bring in Bill Akins here real quickly. Thank you, gentlemen. I can't thank you enough. Steelers lose 35-25. What an awful game. It was great until it wasn't. The first half was good, but the second half was disastrous. The Steelers, they get a late touchdown, but it didn't really matter. I mean, it was just terrible. Scored 28-9 in the second half. Bill, you want to join me here for 10 seconds, and then we'll wrap this thing up?
Sure.
Let's let John and Jerry go if we can. Let's let them go to bed. Jerry, Jefferson, Lake, and Palmer, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Some of their album next time, please.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, you two gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you and me for about 2 minutes. There's John Fedko. He's still smiling. I love that man. It took me 23 years to get back to working with him. Bill Akins, some final thoughts from you after what we saw.
Well, it's disappointing. I mean, they've got problems. I mean, what did Chuck Noll say? We've got problems, and they are many. It's just there's a lot to unpack with this game. I mean, the defense once again just did not do what they were supposed to do. It was just bad. And I tell you what, I kind of disagree. I think the Colts are going to run roughshod against the Steelers.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's going to be bad.
It's just
it's
not
going to be
good.
bad.
Yeah, they're a high-powered offense. They've got a good defense. And
not a single sack by the Steelers defense tonight.
Right.
It was just bad.
Once again, and I agree. They really didn't run the ball. The Packers in the first half. They compiled most of their yardage in the second half, and a porous defense again. They have the bend and bend and not break mentality, and it just doesn't it just doesn't
That's okay. All right, so for the handful of you sticking around, thank you for joining us. Pre-game show next Sunday, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. We're going 4 hours of pregame, and then we'll have about an hour of postgame, and that's it. We'll just check us out on all the socials. I don't know, do you have that little thing with all the social medias by any chance? If you're hanging out right now, a handful of you, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, you can find us, oddly enough, at the same handle, at Steel City Sunday. You can find us on all of those right then and there. With that being said, I want to thank John Fedko. I want to thank Jerry DePaula. I want to thank Bill Akins and the entire cast and crew here at the North Park Lounge, Richland, and the Hilltop Event Center. I want to thank Arch Masonry and Restoration, 412-564-5733, or archmasonryinc.com. Brick masons, block masons, concrete finishers, and laborers. Go find their website or call them if you're looking for work. When all the construction companies are slowing down this time of year, Arch is ramping up. 412-564-5733, archmasonryinc.com. I want to thank everybody for checking us out tonight. We'll talk to you next Sunday and through the course of the week on all the socials at Steel City Sunday. I'm John Phillips. Thank you for watching. Good night.